I might be live. Holy crap. Sprint's really been fucking me in the ass on this whole service. It is god awful. Let me see if you guys can see me now. Let's see. I gotta log on here. So I've been trying to do this every single day. Hope you guys are having a great day. Let me see here. Let me refresh this because I'm having... Oh, yep, I am live. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. What are we on, like, I think this is the second day of the Florida lockdown. I don't know how well this is going to come because Sprint... What's up, David Castro? Sprint's really been fucking me on the data. Like, it's been bad. I've had them for almost 2 years now, and it hasn't been that bad, but since the beginning of the year, it has been absolute, complete fucking dog shit. It has been the worst service by far. Yes, it is cheaper, so I guess, I'm doing good, Nick. What's up, Nick? You wanted the best, you got the best. What's up, Michael Newell? But yeah, no, I've been having major issues. I did a podcast today, and I couldn't even upload that shit. It's not like it's a big file. It's only like 40 megabytes, like in between 40 and 50 megabytes. That's awesome to hear, Nick. If you guys have not heard of my podcast, the Tuddle Daily Podcast, I update it. It's usually in between 30 and 40 minutes a day. Some days they're a little bit lesser. I've been trying to find stuff to be able to talk about. Dave, I'm doing great, man. I've never been better personally in my life. Just need to fix my professional stuff. But my podcast, I'm trying to find news stories every single day to talk about when it comes to just things to bullshit about. And it's hard to not find things that aren't coronavirus related. So I've been covering a lot of the coronavirus stuff. Oh, that's awesome, Michael. I'm glad Corporate Drunkie was able to help you. But if you want to find my podcast, it's a daily podcast. You can search just the Tuddle Daily Podcast, and it's on iTunes, it's on Spotify, it's on iHeartRadio, and Podomatic. If you want to find it on Podomatic, you can easily do that. Tuddle, that's Tuddle @Podomatic, Podomatic.com. Yeah, I gotta turn this down because this delay's bothering me. So, guys, if you have any questions, I would love to hear what you've been up to through this whole pandemic kind of lockdown. I know all the states are not locked down right now, but I know the state of Florida is. I'd like to hear what you guys are coming up to, and if you ever want to email me, you can easily do that. Tuddle with 2 Ds, Tuddle @gmail.com. I just got done cooking some brats on the grill. I've been doing a lot of cooking out on the grill, but one of the things that I noticed today about my grill is that, and this has happened, I always buy the same brand grill, and I think I'm going to have to change it up a little bit because the salt water out here, it absolutely eats up the burners. It eats up the burners, and now my left-hand burner is completely just blowing out fire like a goddamn blowtorch. And I can't control the heat anymore. But I cooked a pizza. I cooked a frozen pizza today on the grill, and cooked the brats, the sausage dogs, and hardly any traffic up here on I-74 in Illinois. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of traffic. I read a couple of stories, Buzzy, about a lot of truckers that'll take a couple of hours when they get into big cities. Is only taking them about 30 to 45 minutes now. Yeah, I cooked a frozen pizza and the brats on the grill today. I've done a little bit of fishing. I fished last night. Didn't have a lot of luck. There was more shrimpers than anything. If you follow me on social media or my Twitter or Facebook, I posted a video just showing you how many shrimpers were out here fishing last night. It was crazy. And I know fishing is essential because people are just trying to feed themselves. But I mean, those people that came out here and fished, they had to stop somewhere. They had to buy supplies. They had to buy gas for their boat. And some of these boats had like 4 or 5 people in close quarters. I'm just saying, listen, I understand we cannot completely shut down our everyday way of living and the economy, but right now we're just blowing up, man. This virus is spreading like wildfire in our country, and the only way that it's going to be maintained a little bit, I think after a while, it's going to wipe out whoever it wipes out, which is going to be unfortunate. I'm trying to do the best that I can to protect my parents who are in their 70s. I think I would be okay. I've been working out a lot lately. I'm below 170 pounds now, so that's a good thing. I'm looking up. Still no drinking, still no psychotropic drugs. I'm watching what I'm eating, so I'm doing pretty well, guys. So I think I'd be okay if I caught it. I'm just trying to watch out for my parents, and I think, we should definitely watch out for our elderly. And I've read a couple of comments from people that wanted to kind of troll and say, well, the older people are a drain on society, and we're having to take care of them, and why should we help them? The weak should go away. And I think that's complete, absolute bullshit, in my opinion, because the people that are in retirement right now, they worked all their lives, paying Social Security and stuff to take care of the older generation, and they took care of them. So now that it's our turn to take care of them, I think it's our responsibility to take care of them. I don't look at it as our elderly as a drain on our society or anything, because that's the farthest thing from the truth. These people took care of the generation before them, and that's exactly what our present day generation has to do, because when we get old enough, we're going to expect the generation before us to help take care of us. So, it's owed. It's kind of owed, because you're taking care of the future, because you would hope that you're taken care of. But with this coronavirus, I'm just trying to be careful, man. I'm trying to catch fish and feed my family and stuff. Trying to catch fish to limit the amount of times I have to go out and buy food. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, when you go buy food, the virus could be on your stuff. And no, I have a table set up. I talked about this last night. I put all the unsanitized stuff on the left, and then I clean it, put it on the right, let it sit outside, and this ocean breeze, which the breeze is pretty strong here pretty much most of the day, I let it all air out and before I even bring it in. So I'm being super careful. If we catch it, if myself or my parents catch it, then that means every motherfucker in the United States is going to catch it. That's just my opinion. I'm not stating a fact, because you got to be really, really careful about things you say about this virus, because I got shadow banned on Twitter a couple weeks ago, and I deleted everything coronavirus related, and then I finally came back, which I think is complete bullshit. And people say, well, it's their playground. Yeah, there's some redfish. You got to kind of get out in the flats, Michael, in between the islands and stuff like that, to be able to catch some reds. You'll catch some reds. More times than none, you'll catch a black drum if you throw a big cut bait or a live mullet out into the channel out there. But you can catch reds out here. But it's right here off the seawall. It's mostly mangroves, snook, and trout is what you're catching. So I lost my train of thought. Fuck, where was I at? I am smoking weed every once in a while, so that's kind of probably why I've lost my train of thought. But back to what I was saying was that I guess we're supposed to take care of our future, our previous generation, which I have no problem with that. But what else is going on? If you've not caught the Trump press conferences, and I've talked about this before with you guys, and I always got to, because once you talk about politics, you're alienating pretty much half of your audience. And I always have to say this before I get into anything political, or anything that could be misconstrued as political, is that I don't support any political party, Republican, Democrat, Independent, because I think all politicians are crooked. They don't give a fuck about the American citizens nowadays, because they all have to pay back the lobbyists that give them money so they can get elected in the first place. Trump 2020, he's going to win. I mean, I really don't care. Do I think anybody could do a better job than Trump is doing right now? I don't know. I think all politicians are just there for the back end of when it all comes. But you got to admit, Robert, you gotta admit, Buzzy, that there's some shit that Trump has not done when it comes to this pandemic that we're going through right now. I always thought of Trump as one of those guys, but back to before I go any further, but I don't support any political party. I think we're fucked whoever's in there. They don't give a damn about it. So it's not like I'm bashing Trump because I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican and I'm bashing Democrats. I don't support any of them. What's up, T-Bone? But what I'm saying is that I thought Trump would be smarter the way that he played the media when he first got elected. He hit those core values that he knew people were going to get into. And let's be honest, Trump says a lot of shit that, what's up, McDave 1407? Trump says a lot of bullshit that I don't even think he believes. I think he says some shit just to get mentioned. Or he is the most magnificent troller of all time. He says the most dumb shit. It's not even dumb. He just says shit to be controversial, just to stir up controversy so people will talk about him. Like prime example, okay? When has the president ever had an opinion on who won the best picture at the Oscars? Not Trump. Trump automatically went in full hardcore, spitting fire at Parasite for winning the best picture, and bitching about how could the best picture not be American or not American? Why is it in Korean? Why are they not speaking English? How could we let this happen? Yeah, their ratings were down because Parasite, which is not an English-speaking film, won Best Picture. Yes, I'll agree with you, Dave. It's fun to watch. I never miss a Trump press conference because, I've agreed with some of the stuff that Trump's done. If Trump does good, I'll give him credit for it. Yes, we need to keep illegals out. I'm okay for political asylum for people coming in here and escaping, dictators and shit like that. But just the people that are coming in here illegally and taking benefits from hardworking Americans. And yes, before you come at me and say, well, American citizens don't want to do the jobs that the migrants don't want to do. Well, you know what? Yes, you're right. I'll agree with you. There's a lot of white people that are white trash that live off the system more than black people, Spanish people, minorities. Yeah, white people are just as lazy as a lot of the minorities. I'm not saying it's a racial thing. It's just a class thing. Just the way people are raised. But I don't think we should be taking care of people that are here illegally. One of the questions that I heard one of the reporters ask was that, are we going to be taking care, are the migrants, the people that are here illegally, are they going to get checks, the stimulus checks because of the coronavirus? And no, they don't deserve anything. We need to take care of the people that are here legally. But there are things that I don't agree with Trump, and one of the things is why does he always have to go at the media? I thought Trump was way smarter than that because Trump lets the media get under his skin. He should just tell them, you know what, you're right, I'm going to do a better job on this. Instead of calling them the fake media, it just shows that they've won. And I just think he could do a way better job. And then talking about the press conference getting better ratings than The Bachelor, we don't need to fucking hear about any of that stuff right now. We need to hear nothing but pandemic, the virus, news here locally, how you're going to help out the citizens, how you're going to help out the businesses. Nobody gives a fuck about what your ratings are for your press conferences. Yeah, the DJ dying from it. There was a bus driver that I'm going to play this on my next podcast that'll be out Monday, but I played audio from a bus driver up in Detroit that was driving a bus, and one of his passengers was coughing and not covering up her mouth, and he said something about it. And then he went on his Facebook Live and went on a little bit of rant about it. He really didn't say much about the passenger, just talking about how inconsiderate she was. He was fired from driving buses. And then 3 days later, he caught the virus, and then I think 4 days later, he died. So it just shows you got to be careful, man. You got to look out for the people that are taking care of us. You just got to be smart. But, yeah, these press conferences, I just think that Trump could deal with the media a little bit better. I think it's going to get bad. I think it's going to get bad. They're still saying 2 weeks from the peak. But Bob, though, Buzzy, him calling them out like that, calling them fake news, they're a part of the media. All news is biased, Buzzy. Fox News is biased. I watch all news media. So what I'm saying is that no matter narrative fit you can fit anything to make the narrative fit your way. So all news media is biased by far. So that's why I suggest to people that, all right, yeah, Tuddle, the wind is really bad. I understand that, buddy. I can't help it. Can't help it, man. I'm doing what I can right now. This is where I get the best signal. Mighty windy. Yes, I get it, T-Bone. Mighty windy. I'm just trying to do some stuff here, guys, and help you out. Here, let me listen to it and see what I can do. Wind, Tuddle. We get it, Michael. All right, guys. Well, if it's that bad, then I'm not going to put out bad content. So, would you rather me just cut off the broadcast? Let me know. Would you want me to? Do you want me to stop the live thing? Because I can do that. I'm not bitching or anything. I would rather the content be good than shitty. So if you want me to stop it, I can. Anyways, I'm going to be talking about this, and I want you guys to email me and let me know. Hopefully you guys can hear this. I'm going to be talking about this on my next podcast, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm bashing Bubba, because I'm not bashing Bubba. I still am a part of the Bubba army. I still listen. I think it was a smart move on his part to hire Seth. I think it was great. Seth is great. I've talked about it on numerous occasions. That Seth is a great producer, and he's a great co-host. He's very poignant. He only says things that are funny or to drive the conversation. But I've been nothing but cool. Like, I've not said anything bad about Bubba. Been playing it cool, been very supportive. There was one time on Twitter where he had said, somebody had asked, hey, why don't you have Tuddle call in sometime? And Bubba said, yeah, well, Bubba can call in anytime, or Tuddle can call in. There's nothing stopping him. But I called in one time, and I don't know if it was they were too busy. It could have been too busy, but I called in, and then I got hung up on. And, you know, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. I don't think he did it on purpose or he's mad at me. It's just, you know, I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to get back on the show. I'm not. And one of my main concerns is that really that I've learned from talking to therapists and psychiatrists is I got to stop burning bridges. I've done that a lot in my radio career, and I made a promise to myself while I was working with Bubba that I wasn't going to burn bridges anymore. And like I said, I look, if I could come back on the show, that would be great, but I'm not like going through all this to try to get back on the show. I just want to make sure that we're all cool. Yeah, I did see the Chick-fil-A milkshake. I was actually pretty proud of Colton for doing a stunt, because Colton really doesn't do that. That's out of his comfort zone, so it's pretty badass that he did that. But what I was saying is that I've been really cool. I just want to make sure me and Bubba are on good terms, you know. I don't want there to be any animosity. Look, I fucked up. I was rude when I came back, but I was going through a lot of hard things at that time, and I admit I fucked up. I was rude to Bubba that day, and Bubba gave me a lot of opportunities, you know. But what I'm saying is that in the past, when I was a complete dick and asshole to Bubba, and I was motherfucking him all the time on social media, somehow, some way, he'd always reach out, or I would reach out to him, and I would come back. And now that I've been cool, I've reached out just to say, hey, what's up? How you doing, man? And I haven't gotten anything back, but I know he's a busy guy. I'm just, you know, like, I'm just a little confused. I'm sorry, Bubba, if I've done anything wrong. I'm not blaming you for any of my problems, man. I'm not. I fucked up. I messed up. I want everything to be cool between me and Bubba, and that's it. That's all I want. I want everything to be cool with me and Bubba, and that's it. So I'm just kind of going on a rant. I gotta walk on eggshells, because if I bring up something involving anything with the Bubba Army, it'll get misconstrued, or somebody will go back to Bubba and be like, oh, Tuddle's talking shit about you. Fuck Tuddle. No, that's not the case. I'm talking good about Bubba. I want to know, because I thought that I've been pretty cool. I could be wrong. You know, there's a lot of things I could say, you know. Bubba and them saying that I lied about my suicide attempt. That's not true. And I'll go about this in my podcast, but I'll explain a little bit. At the time, why I didn't go into a lot of detail, really big detail about my suicide attempt, was because Baker acting got brought up. I was trying to go into more detail. I was going to go into more detail after I got out of the funny farm. But, yeah, I know, but that, the last time, I'm not going to go into it. But the reason I didn't go into a lot of detail, and then I did go into detail on the Russ Rollins podcast, was because I didn't have the thread. Trust me, being in that funny farm was the worst time of my life. It was the worst 7 days of my entire fucking life. And I knew it was going to be bad because I was still going through getting off of alcohol. I was still sober at that point, but I knew just being locked away and not having any control over my situation was going to freak me out. And I didn't want to be Baker acted. So I didn't give a lot of all the details because I knew if I gave a lot of the details, yeah, maybe. But what I'm saying is that there's a lot of stories that I told on Russ's podcast and the other podcasts after that because I was done with it. I was being real and honest. At the moment, before I went into the Funny Farm on Bubba show, I didn't go into a lot of details. I didn't go into a lot of details when I came back because I didn't have the opportunity because I was an asshole and a dick to Bubba and got my ass kicked out of the studio and I was told to go home. So I never had a chance pre or post Funny Farm to tell and explain what really happened that morning before I came into work. What's up, Dirtfoot? So, alright guys, I love you. Check out my podcast. Search the Tuddle Daily Podcast. It's available on Podomatic, tuddle.podomatic.com, or search the Tuddle Podcast on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Spotify. Guys, I miss you. Please help me spread the word. Yeah, Paola, I trust me. I'm just being cool. But yes, please help spread the word. Share it to all your friends. I'm not on the radio anymore. I'm trying to build my online brand a little bit, listener by listener, supporter by supporter, until I get back on the air. I still have plans to getting back on the radio, and I had a couple of jobs lined up before this whole fucking coronavirus stuff. I was going to produce a podcast for a very, very successful author, and then that got squashed. I was only going to have to produce a 45-minute podcast at the time. One 45-minute podcast every 2 weeks, and the shit was going to pay me like $60,000 a year, and it would have been the best gig that I ever had for as little work as I would have to do. So, but that got all, postponed because of this fucking pandemic. So, if you want to email me, michaeltuddle@gmail.com, I'll confirm or deny. But, yeah, it was somebody on that level. Patreon. I thought you were talking about an author. Patreon. Yes, I'm on Patreon, but I'm still trying to feel it out. I want to build my audience first so I can build the audience, because you can't really charge people for a podcast if you don't have much of an audience. So just please help me spread the word. If you could do anything, if you've liked what I've done in the past, please help me out. It would be really, really greatly appreciated. All right, guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow on the Tuddle Daily